You know, sometimes life's roadblocks allow us to take major detours and explore new roads, and in this case, a new career. Chef Deb Oxman, founder of Savor Culinary Services, is here to tell us more about her journey. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
This has been a really special day. We've had the opportunity to listen to some remarkable stories with people who have faced a lot of struggles and have managed to overcome them, you know, this whole overcoming hurdles. And you are no different. Before we kind of get into making and baking and doing all this wonderful stuff, I want to hear a little bit about your story and your journey, because you did not start out your career as a chef.
No.
Started out as a physical therapist.
Right.
How did you then transition?
So I really realized whenever I was treating my patients that they healed so much better depending upon what they ate. Because a lot of times I was a foodie, they were a foodie, we would share different things, and I thought there's got to be something to this. Well, when my son was about 3, he was diagnosed with high-functioning autism, severe ADHD, could not find care for him. Doctors wanted to shove him full of medication and
send him to some, like a different type of school.
Everything. Would never have friends, couldn't walk in a straight line, any of those things. And I thought, this is not gonna work for me. A good friend of mine said, how does his body use food? And I thought, what does that matter? She goes, let's just find out. She was a functional nutritionist. Found out exactly how his body uses food, his intolerances, heavy metals, toxicity, all of these things. All we did was change his food. I had a different child in 90 days. Different child.
That is absolutely remarkable.
Yes.
And this child has gone on to be so successful. He's currently serving in our armed forces.
Military, yes.
And has been all over the world and has a thriving, fulfilled life.
Absolutely.
So food really does heal.
It changed everything for him. It really did. It was the most extraordinary experience. And, you know, one person found out about it, which I'm sure you're going to ask me about the story too.
Yeah. One person found out about it. Why don't you go on and tell us that story?
So one person found out about it, another person found out about it, and I thought, I should probably make a business out of this. And what happened is I went to culinary school, and they're like, okay, so when you stand on somebody's line in a restaurant, and I thought, oh, no, that's not going to work for me. And it was, of course, very male-driven, which also didn't exactly want to work like that. Then I thought, okay, I'll learn to be a personal chef. And so went to school for that, and then what happened is while I was in school, they were like, okay, when you cook for one client a day in the home, and I thought, this is not going to scale. We cannot serve enough people like this at all. So I figured out how to do extreme level of customization to the individual family member at scale, and now I have several employees, an amazing team that is supporting me back in the kitchen. Right now, it is a completely team-led company.
It is incredible. And so you're able to provide these very, very customizable services, customizable cuisine. You go literally from, you deliver to the refrigerator, and really has made remarkable changes in their lives. And you see these testimonies every day.
Every day.
Let's get to cooking, though, while you're here. So what are we going to be making right now?
So this dish is so versatile. It is a stuffed acorn squash, but don't let the simple name fool you, because there's so many ways that you can substitute these ingredients, depending upon your special dietary need or no dietary needs. You can make this plant-based, you can make this paleo, you can do whatever you want to with it. So first of all, the acorn squash, whenever you cut it in half and scoop out the seeds, we always put a notch on it.
All right, so that makes it stand up.
That's right.
Okay, so then what next? What do we put in next?
Then what happens is that goes into the oven, and then you take the sausage that's there. You can use Italian sausage, or you can use just a ground pork sausage. Go ahead and put all that in.
All of that in, okay.
Dump it in. And then as that's cooking in your pan, the next thing that you do in a food processor is you put a mirepoix in, which is carrots and celery and onions and garlic, which is the orange part.
All right.
But you want to make it the consistency of the rice that's next to it. So you can go ahead and dump it all in.
Dump all of that in, okay.
And the mirepoix already has wine in it that would have already been in the skillet as well. So reduced white wine.
Smells delicious.
Doesn't it? I know. Once that cooks a little bit in your skillet, then you take the apples and dump them in.
I love it. This is so fresh,
Yeah.
beautiful, wonderful ingredients, very accessible, and at the same time, so healthy.
And again, if you're not doing grains, you can just leave out the rice, or you can do a cauliflower rice.
Okay.
If you want to.
All
Yeah.
right.
And then the last but not least, you take the kale.
Do I put the whole thing in?
The whole thing.
The whole thing.
And you can imagine this, as this is on a stove cooking, that kale is going to reduce.
Right.
You will stir that up. If you don't like kale, add spinach. But kale has a lot of calcium in it, a lot of vitamin K. It is so, so good for you. But again, if you don't like kale, you can leave it out. Or
You know,
can
and I'm also
alternate it.
wondering too, I know we use sausage here, but you could also possibly do some things with the leftover Thanksgiving stuff too.
Right, you can
if you
put
wanted
turkey
to.
in it. You sure can.
And then look how beautiful it
Right.
is. I mean, what a presentation piece. This is something
Thank you.
beautiful that you could have at a really kind of upscale dinner party too.
Absolutely.
So going back to your business as we're continuing to kind of stir this along, you mentioned earlier, we had a chance to talking about these different testimonials. Some of these individuals have gone through every kind of medical treatment they could possibly imagine, all types of different types of services, and yet food ended up being the healing component to give them overall wellness. That's remarkable.
Right. We really have 3 clients at Savor. We have clients that either want to heal through food, have healed themselves through food, or they want to prevent different diseases and illness processes. Since we use 100% whole food organic nutrition and no seed oils, by the way, then what happens is this is truly healing food that is customized.
Healing food that's customizable. Where can people find you real quick?
SavorCulinaryServices.com, and services is with an S.
Services with an S.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You've
You're
inspired
welcome.
me.